Hello students, today we are going to discuss about framing questions. How to frame a question. Okay, so what is the basic rule in framing a question? All interrogative sentences are questions. Now, what does a question contain? A question contains a question word, the auxiliary verb, and the subject and the main verb. These are the four common things. Just remember, it's easy to remember. QASM, question and the auxiliary verb, subject and the main verb. So it's very easy. It is the common word order for a question. Now we shall learn that in detail later. So say for example a sentence. He is our English teacher. Now I ask you to frame a question. What will you frame? Who is he? Now in this sentence, he is the subject and is the verb. He is our English teacher. Here, subject comes first and then the verb. Now, see the question. Who is he? Here, is the verb comes first and then the subject. So, it is the vice versa. Note this important point. In the sentence, subject comes first and then the verb. But in the question, verb comes first. So, just remember this. In the sentence, subject comes first and then the verb. In the question, verb comes first and then the subject. Now, what is the basic rule to frame a question? Yes, you should know this. The tense of the answer sentence and the tense of the question must be same. This is the basic rule. Whenever they give a paragraph or a sentence and they ask you to frame a question, just remember, check what is the tense of the sentence and check what is the verb form. Check these two things. What is the tense? You all know, whether it is present or past or continuous or future. Yes, that you have to check. And what is the verb form? Whether it is first person and second person or third person, whether it is singular or plural, that is the verb form. So, check these two things. Let's see one example. He sang the song very well. In this sentence, what is the tense? The main verb is sang. So, it is in past tense. Now, when you frame a question, that should also be in past tense. What will be the question? Yes. How did he sing? Yes. Did is the past form. So, here he sang the song very well. And how did he sing? The both have past form. One more example we see. She works hard to get high marks. So, works hard. What tense it is? Present tense. Here this third person, singular present. How will be the question? Why does she work hard? So, does, use the same present form. So, in the question and the answer, the tense should be same. This is the basic rule to frame a question. By the way, let's move on to the types of questions. Yes, I know, I can hear you people are now telling the answer. Yes, how many types are there? Two types. Yes, what are they? WH questions and yes or no questions. Okay, so shall we discuss about it? What is a WH question? Very simple. Questions that begins with WH question word. What are WH question words? What, when, why, where, who, which, whose. Yes. And you should know when to use this. And words beginning with H. Question words beginning with H. How many, how far, how often, how old, how long. Yes, these question words are called WH question words. So, whenever a question begins with these, we call it as WH question. Now, when to use which question word? We'll revise that. Yes. For suppose you want to know about things, ideas, and you want to get any information. What question word will you use? What? What is your name? What are you doing? And you want to know about the time. You should use when. When is your birthday? You want to find out the reason. What question word will you use? Why? Why are you late? And if you want to know about the place, what question word will you use? Where? Where is your school or where is your house? If you want to know about your person, what question word you should use? Who? Who is your class teacher? If you want to know about the choice, what question word will you use? Which? Which is your favorite subject? If you want to know about the possession, you should use whose. Whose book is this? Yes. We'll see some example for the questions that beginning with H. Yes. How? When to use this word? How? To find out the manner. How did you write the exam? If you want to know about the frequency, how often do you visit your grandparents? If you want to know about the duration, how long? How long did you study today? If you want to know about the countable nouns, which question word? How many? How many books do you have? And if you want to know, use the uncountable nouns. What you should use? How much? How much does the book cost? Yes. And if you want to know about the distance, far, how far? How far is your school from here? Yes. So these are all WH question words. Now let's move on to yes or no question words. What are yes or no question words? Very simple. Questions that begins with the auxiliary verbs. Yes. And all yes or no questions, when you respond, you should either respond yes or no. So all verbal questions answer should begin with yes or no. So, you know, 4 auxiliary verbs are there. Be verbs, do verbs, have verbs and modal verbs. If you use these 4, then it is a WH question. Let's see. First, be verbs. What are be verbs? Am, is, was, are and were. Is, when you will use singular present. Are, plural present. Was, singular past. Were, plural past. And let's see have verbs. What are have verbs? Have, has, had. When you will use have, plural present. Has, singular present. Had, past tense. Next we move on to do verbs. Do, does and did. When will you use do, plural present. Does, singular present. Did, past tense. And the last auxiliary verb is modal verbs. What are they? Can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must. And you also have semi-modals, ought to, used to, need, dare. But sometimes we don't use all modal verbs as question words. So let's see the examples. Be verbs. Am I on the right platform? Is it raining? Are you all right? Was it useful? Were you sleeping when I called? Yes. What about do verbs? So we were seeing the examples. Next, do verbs. Do you like ice cream? Yes. Does she speak English? Did you read the story? Now let's see example for have verbs. Have you completed your homework? Has she done the work? Had you many friends at school? Yes. Now we'll see examples for modal verbs. Can you help me? Could you come with me? Will you come tomorrow? Would you like to have a cup of coffee? Should I clean my room every day? Yes. May I come in? Can you see the board? Yes. There are many more examples. Yes. So now do you all understand what are yes or no question words? And we saw the examples also. Now, if I ask you a question, have you completed your assignment? If you have finished, what you'll say? Yes, I have. If you haven't completed, what you will say? No, I haven't. But I've come across some students, what they'll say? No, I have, miss. That is wrong. You should say, no, I haven't. Whenever you respond in negative, you should use the negative form. Now, when we give a comprehension paragraph and ask the students to find out the answer, if you give any yes or no questions, instead of writing yes or no, they just write the answer. No, that is wrong. I know you're all good students. You won't do like that. No? Yes. Now, let's move on to the steps while framing a question. There are just 4 steps to frame a question. Shall we see it one by one? Yes. Are you all ready? The first step. Yes. Read the sentence or a paragraph carefully and correctly. Whenever in the exam they give a sentence or a paragraph and they ask you to read, find out, frame question. First thing is read the sentence or a paragraph carefully and correctly. Find out the answer word. Remove the answer word. Do not include the answer word in the question. This is the first step. Say with example, she goes to school. School is the answer word. Remove that. Do not include that word in the question. Then how will you ask? Where does she go? Yes, very good. Correct. Now let's move on to the second step. The second step is you have to find out the tense and the verb form. Remember, we learnt in the beginning, QASM. Yes. And we said the tense should be same. Now, let's see with example. Suppose there is a sentence with singular present form. She reaches the place at 9 p.m. What is the answer word? 9 p.m. Remove that. First rule, no? Remove that. Now, what is the verb? Reaches. Singular present. Third person. She reaches. Yes. Don't use the word reaches in the question. Remove that. Instead, split that word reaches. How will you split? Does plus reach. Yes. How will you split the word reaches? Does and reach. Use these 2 words in the question. Yes. When does she reach the place? Very good. Yes. Suppose we take another sentence. Plural, present. They reach the place at 9 p.m. What is the answer word? 9 p.m. Remove it. Yes. See the main verb, reach. Now you must have learnt it in your lower classes. Subject, verb, agreement. What is the subject here? They. It is a plural form. So what is the verb here? Reach. It is also in plural form. So instead of using the word reach in the question, split the word reach. How will you split it? Do and reach. Remember, split reach as do and reach. So how will you frame a question? When do they reach the place? Very good. Correct. Yes. We'll see one more sentence also. Past tense form. We reached the place at 9 p.m. What is the answer word? 9 p.m. Remove that. What is the main verb? Reached. What is the rule now? Split it. Split the word reached. Don't use the word reached in the question. Instead, split it. How will you split? Did and reach. Remember. So you should know this. Instead of using reached, use these two words. Did and reach. How will you frame a question? Yes. When did you reach the place? Very good. Suppose for example, want. Do plus want. Wants. Does plus want. Wanted. Did plus want. Go. Do plus go. Goes. Does plus go. Went. Did plus go. So if you know the splitting very well, you can easily do the second step. Now we'll go to the third step. The third step is find the pronouns. See what pronoun is used in the sentence. Sometimes there will be a change in the question. You know no pronouns? I, me, my, mine, we, us, our, ours, you, your, yours. Yes. Let's see with example. My father is a driver. Driver is the answer word. Remove that. Now how will you ask question? What is your father? See here. My father changes into your father. So my is changed into your. So can you see how the pronoun is changed? Yes. Here is the auxiliary verb and that is the main verb here. So no need of splitting. Only for main verbs you split. And let's move on to the fourth step. Very easy step. Add a question mark. Is it easy? No. Last step. Don't forget to add the interrogative mark at the end of the question. So what are the 4 rules? Read the sentences carefully and remove the answer word and find out the tense and the verb form. Find out any change in the pronouns and last add the question mark. Now let's see on 3 sentences. Using the 4 steps, you have to frame a question. First sentence, I want the book. What is the answer word? Book. So instead of that, what question word will you use? What? What do you want? Want. How will you split? Do plus want. And I becomes you. Next sentence, Rani is my sister. Here take the answer word as Rani. Then how will you ask a question? Who is your sister? So my sister becomes your sister. Suppose one yes or no question. Yes, I like bananas. Do you all like bananas? Yes. So do you like bananas? Now see the word order for this auxiliary question. That is yes or no question. Do auxiliary verb. You subject. Like main verb. Remember we learned one word order. Q, A, S, M. Here instead of Q, A, S, M. Why? Because do becomes the question word and it is the auxiliary verb. Yes. Now show you a picture. You have to see the picture. I give you a minute. Whatever questions you can frame it. Like how many tables are there in the picture. Like that. Okay. So I give you a second. Observe the picture and frame the question. You need not write it. Yes. Have you finished? I hope you finished. Now I give you 5 sentences. I will read the 5 sentences and I will read the answer word. Only twice I will read. Listen carefully. Sharpen your ears. You need not write. Frame question in your mind. Okay. The players ran away. The players, answer word. The players ran away. I met Ram in Mumbai. So you are going to do exercise. I am going to give you 5 sentences. You have to listen carefully. I will read only twice. Okay? Listen carefully and do it in your mind. Frame questions. The players ran away. Answer word is the players. The players ran away. Yes, I have passed in all the subjects. I have passed. Yes, I have passed in all the subjects. I met Ram in Mumbai. In Mumbai is the answer word. I met Ram in Mumbai. They will meet you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the answer word. They will meet you tomorrow. He went to the zoo with his parents. With his parents is the answer word. He went to the zoo with his parents. So I hope you must have done all the questions correctly using the steps. We'll see some more examples also. This is my book. How will you frame a question? Which is your book? I went to the beach. Say beach is the answer word. What is the question? Where did you go? Ravi's uncle is a doctor. Ravi is the answer. Whose uncle is a doctor? No, I did not write it. So yes or no? What question? Did you write it? Yes. In your textbook, they've given you a paragraph. You have to read the paragraph and they've given you the question word also. Use the question word and complete the question. So I'll read the paragraph for you. Now I'm going to read only once, but before attempting the answer, so I'll read the passage and you have to complete the questions. Then Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squashed it. And they had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon. And then it was George's turn. And he trod on the butter. I didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt it made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them, and then couldn't find them when they wanted them. And they packed the pies at the bottom and put heavy things on top and smashed the pies in. Now, this is the passage. Let's see what are the question words they've given. Who? So, what question will you frame? Who packed the strawberry jam? What is the next question word? What? What did Harris pack on top of the tomato and squashed it? Yes. Take the book. Yes. What is the third question word? Read. How? How did they pack the pies? Yes. What is the fourth question word? Why? Why did they get irritated? See the last question word, what they have given there? Where? Where did the narrator sit? Yes. So you finished one exercise. Very good. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Same, they have given another paragraph and they have given some instructions. Follow the instructions and do it. Shall we read the passage? So, I'm going to read it once, but before framing the question, you have to read it at least 2 or 3 times. Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. It's the natural, original sin that is born in him makes him do things like that. The packing was done at 12:50 and Harris sat on the big hamper and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. George said if anything was broken, it was broken, which reflection seemed to comfort him. He also said he was ready for bed. Yes. What is the question word? What is the instruction they've given? First, frame a WH question. Remember, we learned so many WH questions. Those words, any one you can use it. Now I'll give you an example. When was the packing done? Yes. What is the second instruction? See the book. Frame a yes or no question. You can use 4 auxiliary verbs we learned, remember? Yes. One example I give you. Did Harris sit on a big hamper? Yes. What is the last instruction they given? Frame a question using a model. Remember the modal verbs, can, could, yes. You can use anything and frame. I'll give you an example. Would anything be broken in the big hamper? Yes. So you have done the 2 exercises that are given in your textbook. Now, sometimes you make errors when you frame a question. Now I am going to give you just 3 questions. Let's see who is going to find the error. Are you all ready? Yes, spot the error. Very easy, no? Yes. The first question is, who do you want to meet? What is the error in this? Yes, instead of who, you should use whom. Whom do you want to meet? Yes. How to find out the difference? When to use who and when to use whom? Very simple. Who always takes the place of subject and whom always takes the place of object. Yes. If he or she it is replaced, then it is who. If it is him or her is replaced, then it is whom. He is our English teacher. Who is he? He, you use who. I want to meet him. Him. So, it is whom. Shall we see another question? Yes. How many luggage did you bring? What is the error in this? Remember I told you, for countables you should use only how many. For luggage you won't say 1 luggage, 2 luggage. Will you say? No. Okay. In singular and plural we use only luggage. So, how much luggage did you bring? That is the correct answer, question. And the last question, what color do you want? Red or green file? What is wrong in this? What is the error? Instead of what, you should use which. How to find the difference? For unlimited choices, use what? Remember, for limited choices, use which. Now I am going to ask only red or green, limited choice. So instead of asking what color do you want, you should say which color do you want, red or green file. So I hope you all understand how to frame a question. What and all we learned? What does a question contain? What is the basic rule? How to frame this question, the 4 steps. And what are the 2 types? Yes. So I ask you students, read the passage, read the sentence, many sentences you read and you can practice at home. All the best. Thank you students.